Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Before starting the video, I request you to kindly support my channel. Subscribe to my channel, Jazakallah. Have you ever felt like everyone has an opinion on how you should live your life, yet none of it really resonates with you? It's as if people keep offering advice, but deep down, you know they don't truly understand what's best for you. Maybe what you actually need is some time alone. That might sound a little extreme, right? Society constantly tells us not to isolate ourselves. But what if the solitude you've been avoiding is exactly what will bring you closer to Allah and help you find inner peace? What if stepping away from the noise is the key to discovering your true purpose? If you're just here for a few quick tips, I'll be honest, this won't work. But if you're ready to transform your life, take a moment, pause everything else, and give this your full attention. Watch until the end because you never know. One simple word might touch your heart in a way you didn't expect. And trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. Solitude gives you the space to reconnect with yourself. Life moves so fast. Between school, work, and the endless scroll of social media, it's easy to forget who you really are. People are constantly pulling you in different directions, telling you what you should do, until you can't even tell what you actually want anymore. That's why solitude is so powerful. It's not about running away from life. It's about making room to think, reflect, and simply breathe. When you're alone, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop worrying about their expectations and finally focus on what truly matters to you. And in that quiet, you might realize something. You haven't felt this kind of peace in a long time. The outside noise fades, and for once, you can actually hear yourself think. It's in those still moments that you can reconnect with your purpose. You start asking yourself, am I spending my time wisely? What truly matters to me? In a world that constantly pushes us to fit a mold, solitude might be the one thing that helps you rediscover your true self. Being alone allows you to embrace your authentic self, the person Allah created you to be. When you take time to reflect and realign your intentions, you start making choices based on what's right for you, not just what others expect. That's where real growth begins. You can't truly move forward until you take a step back to reflect on where you've been and where you want to go. Solitude clears the clutter in your mind. Life can feel overwhelming. Deadlines, responsibilities, the pressure to keep up with everything. Your mind becomes so cluttered that it's hard to focus on what actually matters. It's like trying to work in a noisy room. You can't even hear yourself think. But when you take a step back and embrace solitude, something shifts. The constant mental chatter quiets down, and for the first time, your thoughts become clear. It feels like taking a deep breath after being stuck in chaos. When you allow yourself to sit in stillness, you gain the clarity to process your thoughts and untangle the confusion clouding your mind. In these moments of peace, you reconnect with your faith, your goals, and your inner self. By silencing the external distractions, you create space to hear the guidance Allah has already placed in your heart. You realize that clarity doesn't come from the noise around you. It comes from listening to the stillness within. The wisdom behind isolation. Let's be real. Feeling isolated isn't easy. It's uncomfortable, and it can even make you question yourself. Why are people drifting away? Why do you feel like you're being left out of certain spaces? It can be frustrating and lonely, especially when you're trying to find your place in the world. But what if, just maybe, Allah is protecting you in those moments? What if this feeling of isolation isn't something to fear, but something that's actually guiding you towards something greater? Sometimes, the greatest blessings in our lives come disguised as trials we don't fully understand at first. Think about it. Sometimes we get so caught up in the distractions of society, trying to keep up with everyone else, that we forget to listen to our own hearts. The people around us, the noise, the trends, they can all pull us away from our true purpose. But when you're alone, when you're cut off from all those distractions. That's when you truly have the space to grow, reflect, and reconnect with Allah. Allah, in His wisdom, knows exactly what we need. Sometimes, the isolation is a blessing in disguise. It gives us time to pause, to listen, and to turn back to Him without any external noise. This solitude is a space where we can reconnect with our faith, renew our intentions, and remember why we're here in the first place. A test to strengthen your patience. Let's be honest, being alone isn't always easy, and it certainly isn't always comfortable. Whether it's the loneliness that comes with solitude or the silence that leaves room for your thoughts to roam, you might find yourself getting frustrated, restless, or even questioning why you're going through this phase. It's a test that can push your patience in ways you might not expect. But here's the truth. These moments, though tough, are exactly what you need to strengthen your patience. When you're alone, life can feel like it's dragging, and the struggle to keep going can make everything feel heavier. But this is precisely the test that Allah uses to help us grow. It's not just about enduring discomfort. It's about learning to hold on to your faith, resisting the urge to complain, and staying patient while trusting in Allah's plan. Sometimes, we don't understand why things aren't moving faster, or why we're experiencing isolation. But Allah knows that these trials are opportunities for us to build resilience, patience, and a deeper trust in Him. The key to patience during these times isn't just about keeping quiet or enduring in silence. It's about the strength that comes with maintaining your composure, controlling your thoughts, and staying grounded in your faith, even when everything around you feels uncertain or disconnected. Remembering that Allah is always with you, guiding, supporting, and strengthening you, helps you navigate these moments with a heart full of patience. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever is patient, Allah will give him patience, and no one is given a better or more abundant gift than patience." Bukhari. When you practice patience, you're not just enduring a test, you're building spiritual strength, trusting Allah's timing, and learning to accept His wisdom, even when things don't make sense. So embrace this time alone, because it's not a punishment. It's a blessing in disguise, helping you grow and become more resilient in your faith. The best time for reflection. There's something powerful about being alone. It gives you the space to really think about your life, your actions, and your intentions. How often do we actually take a step back and ask ourselves, what am I really doing with my time? Most of the time, we're so caught up in the busyness of life that we don't stop to reflect. But when you're alone, away from all the distractions, you have the chance to look at your daily routine and ask yourself some tough questions. Think about this for a second. What if today was the day you had to answer to Allah for everything you've done? Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment, when everything you did, whether good or bad, will be laid out in front of you. How would you answer for how you spent your time? For the moments you wasted? For the good deeds you could have done but didn't? The truth is, we will all be asked about how we spent our lives, and no one can escape that moment of truth. It's not just about the big acts of worship, like prayer and fasting. It's about our everyday actions. How we treat others and use our time. How we treat others, how we use our time, and whether we live in alignment with Allah's guidance are all things we will be accountable for. Being alone gives you the perfect opportunity to reflect on these matters. You can think about how much good you've done, and, yes, how much you've fallen short. But this isn't about beating yourself up or feeling discouraged. It's about understanding where you are on your journey and realizing that Allah's mercy is always there for those who seek it. When you're alone, there's no one to distract you from the truth. You can look at your life, admit where you've gone wrong, and take steps to improve. It's a chance to renew your intentions, focus on what truly matters, and make the necessary changes to live a life that is pleasing to Allah. Understanding the balance between solitude and unity. There's no denying that isolation can sometimes feel like loneliness. It's easy to confuse the two. When you spend time alone, it can sometimes lead to feelings of disconnection from others, making you question whether you're doing something wrong by not being around people. But here's the truth. This kind of isolation isn't about pushing people away or cutting yourself off from the community. It's about taking the time you need to reconnect with yourself, reflect on your actions, and strengthen your relationship with Allah. Islam places a strong emphasis on unity, on the strength we gain as an ummah when we come together in worship, support, and brotherhood. The balance between unity and solitude. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "The example of the believers in their mutual love, mercy, and compassion is like that of a body. When one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers." This hadith clearly emphasizes the importance of unity. We are stronger when we stand together, supporting each other through life's trials. However, what we must understand is that there is a time for everything. While unity and togetherness are essential for the ummah, so is taking time to be alone, to reflect, to grow spiritually, and to reconnect with Allah. It is during these moments of solitude that you gain clarity, understanding, and the strength to return to the community in a healthier way. Being alone isn't a rejection of the ummah. It's an opportunity to come back to it with a renewed spirit, a clearer mind, and a stronger faith. When you take time to reflect, you are preparing yourself to contribute more positively to the well-being of the Muslim community. You are finding peace within yourself so that you can share it with others. Holding fast to the rope of Allah. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And hold fast, all of you together, to the rope of Allah, and do not separate." Surah Al-Imran 3:103. This verse emphasizes the importance of unity, but also subtly acknowledges that true strength and clarity come from nurturing our personal connection with Allah. When we strengthen ourselves spiritually in solitude, we become better equipped to uphold unity and support those around us. Finding the balance. Yes, being part of the ummah is essential. Supporting one another, standing together, and uplifting those around us. But at the same time, taking moments for yourself is just as important. Solitude isn't about detaching from the world. It's about recharging spiritually and mentally so you can return stronger. So the next time you find yourself alone, don't see it as isolation in a negative way. Instead, recognize it as a time for personal growth, renewal, and self-reflection. When you return to the community, you'll come back with a clearer mind, a stronger heart, and a renewed commitment to serve the ummah. The power of solitude in strengthening faith. My dear brothers and sisters, as we've explored, solitude isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to grow, reflect, and strengthen your connection with Allah. In a world that constantly demands our attention, the quiet moments we spend alone allow us to reconnect with our true purpose. It's in those moments of solitude that we find clarity, renew our intentions, and prepare ourselves to serve others with a stronger, more sincere heart. But remember, solitude doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world. Islam teaches us the importance of unity, of being there for one another, growing together, and strengthening the bonds within our ummah. At the same time, we must recognize that personal reflection and time alone are necessary to build the inner strength needed to contribute meaningfully to our community. Embrace your time alone. If you feel the need to step back and reflect, don't resist it. Embrace it. Use that time to draw closer to Allah, to evaluate your actions, and to realign your life with your faith. The deeper your connection with yourself and your Creator, the more you'll be able to give back to the ummah in powerful and meaningful ways. If this message resonates with you, comment, "Ya Allah, guide me," below. Your words might inspire someone else to reflect and find peace in solitude. And if you found this reminder valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps us continue sharing messages that bring us closer to Allah. May Allah guide you, protect your heart, and keep you steadfast on this journey. Amen.